There we go. All right. All right, everybody. We're going to go ahead and get started here. Everybody, welcome to our Thursday social media marketing for real estate agents coaching call here with myself. My name is Shane. I'm from the Double Your Income coaching team, and I am here with Kara McMaster from McMaster Digital. We've been doing this now for a few weeks, everything from profile optimization to TikTok to, I think we did some YouTube, Facebook last week. So we're diving into the majority of the platforms. We're going to keep doing this for as long as we can. And yeah, Kara, what are we talking about? Do we have any new faces on here today? Any new people?
I don't think, well, I don't recognize Larry just because like that amazing background you got, Larry.
I know, Larry. Looking good.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm new. I mean, I've been following you guys for a while, but I switched companies and I stopped getting the emails because I, lost my email, and then I recently signed back on. So yeah, you guys should see me more often now.
Awesome, good stuff. Anybody else new to the call? No. All right. Well, Kara, what are we covering today? What are we talking about?
Today we're going to do an overview. Last week we had people asking, what do I do? And I was like, well, I actually did an entire 8-week course on what to do. And I recognize that maybe some people don't want to do 8 weeks and they want a shortcut. So you're going to get a shortcut version today, but remember, it's a shortcut. So if you come back to me and go, I didn't get the result that you promised, it's because you took the shortcut, but I'm going to give you the super high level stuff. You cool with that?
You're funny.
So,
I was thinking about, for anybody that hasn't seen the post I did a while back on my Facebook profile so we did an event, a live event in Toronto, and Kara comes up on stage and were you like an award-winning
grade 6 champion?
Yeah. So she starts off this whole I don't know, getting the crowd involved and getting them clapping and stuff like that. It's so funny. And the slide in the background basically says, like, where was our slide deck? And it's like, okay, Kara's slides go here. And as she's talking, going through all this stuff, she starts her presentation. The next slide, it says, Kara ends here. Just like, but anyways, it was really funny. And so you've got a very, very interesting personality. But if nobody has seen we actually have the replays of all the events now posted on our YouTube channel. Our Double Your Income Coaching YouTube channel was really good. Kara was there, myself. We had Christian Mortuzzo that was there talking about TikTok. So it's about 6 hours long. But if you guys want to check out some really good content, it is on our YouTube channel. So just reach out to me if you need some details on that. But anyway, sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
No, we're telling everybody how funny I am. I mean, please keep going. All right. So last week, okay, well, first, I'm Kara McMaster, the digital strategist behind The Nimble Agent, and I help real estate agents grow on platforms like TikTok and Instagram and Facebook and social media, but more importantly, I help them generate buyer and seller leads that lead to deals and closed transactions, because that's what we're here to do. So I have been coaching inside the DYIC community since June now, which is crazy that it's like October. And I was just on a webinar. We do a webinar every week to show people how cool we are on TikTok. And I had to remind them and myself that we are coming up on the last quarter of the year. That means we all have 25% left of the year to do all the things that we said that we wanted to do, to hit all the numbers of closed deals that we wanted to do, to build our brands, to build our authority, to build our presence, to do all the things that we wanted to do. It's kind of over because we know how December goes, right? December's full of like Christmas time and all that. So you kind of really have 2 months. You have 2 months left to move that little tushy in the direction that you said that you were going to go and do. So just as a keen reminder, and I think it's right on point with what we're going over today, because last week when I asked you guys for some feedback, because we've covered everything under the sun, what do you want to learn about? And someone said, I don't know what to post on. I don't know what to post on social media. And I was like, okay, so we need to go back to the basis here. So my very first trip around the sun with you guys was an 8-week foundational course to learn everything from what should you be posting, how to post it, what platforms to talk about, and build a strategy. I keep wanting to say TikTok because I just came off this webinar. I apologize. But my point was that when we did that, My goal for you guys was to be able to go on vacation for August and have all of your content scheduled and done. So today I've got all 8 weeks open. It's really 6 weeks because we spent 2 of the weeks actually doing what's called open office hours, where we just handled real questions. Because each week I would give everyone a little bit of homework to do, to go out and do it and come back. So today we're going to review each of the 6 weeks of slides, and I'm just going to give you the most important things so that you can take this information and go and do it. Now, I remember who asked me those questions last week. So I see a few of you on the call this week. So you know what that means. I'm looking for a little bit of accountability here, because here's the deal. Here's the deal. I do these for free every single week. The DYIC community does not pay me to do these calls, and I do them. Obviously, it brings us business, which is great. But really, I do it because this community is giving me a lot. It's giving me a wonderful career, allowed me to support my family, and allowed me to flourish in something that I really, really enjoy. But if there's one thing that really grinds my gears, is spending time with people and coaching them on things, and they just don't do anything with it. Because today you have given me your most valuable resource in the world, and that is your time. And if you do not take what we teach you on these classes and go and do something with it, just jump off now. Just jump off. Because you're doing yourself and myself a disservice. So remember that I remember who asked me. So I'm going to look. I'm just going to go. I'm just going to go see. Did you take the information that I gave you, and did you go and apply it? And if you did, I'm going to applaud you from behind and give you some kudos. But I'm also going to do the latter. I'm going to come after you, and I'm going to call you out. Personally, not in front of everybody, because that's not cool. We don't want to make people feel bad. I just want to hold people up to their highest self, because that's what a good coach does. A good coach calls you out on it. So for today's class, let's start off from the very beginning, super high level. And you guys know how I roll. I like interaction. I like videos on. I like it when you guys ask questions. I like it when you give me some feedback. If you don't understand something, if I'm pulling up marketing geeky speak stuff on you, call me out on it. Let's get ready to rumble. All right, week 1, when we go out and we decide that we are going to build our brands and we're going to use social media to do it, it's very, very important that you start off on a good foot. So week 1, what we really talked about was like a little bit about your brand and the colors and what does it represent. So if anyone's ever spent any time with me, I'm very big on avatar and ideal client marketing, that if we're going to spend our money and our time and our resources on attracting people, it might as well be towards the people that you want to work with most. And if you need clarity on that, my favorite go-to book is The Pumpkin Planner by Mike McCowitz. The point of the reason why I say that is that once you have clarity on who it is that you want to serve, you want to make sure that the name of your business, the name of the brand that you've given it, the colors that you've given it, the look and feel that you've given it has to speak to that person. So if we go over to some of these slide decks, I'll pull open this one just to give you some examples. Ooh, I wanted to scroll in. View, here we go. That's good. 200%. All right. This is one of my most favorite examples in the world, because this is what we can really see when like things blow up for somebody. This is a client of mine in Calgary, Alberta. He was originally with a pretty large team, and the team took 50% of his commissions every time that he closed a deal. And when he wanted to work with me, all of his branding, everything was towards that team. And he said, Kara, I want to go out on my own, but I'm scared. And I was like, well, that's, granted, I get that. Now you're, wanting to build a lead pipeline. But before we go into the landscape, we do those things, let's figure out, like, who do you want to serve? And he was like, well, I want to work with young millennials who are buying condos and like townhouses in like downtown Calgary. And I was like, okay, well, your current branding kind of talks to somebody who's not that, kind of talks to somebody who's a little bit older, maybe retiring, is a little bit old and drab. We need to really freshen things up. So we took his branding. We first then called him the Calgary's bearded agent so that we could give him something memorable for people to remember him by. And then we looked for elements that really spoke towards what is somebody who, now I know this is, this isn't the regular PNG version. That's why it's a little bit blurred out. But you get the idea here that it's, this is more of a millennial look. It's got a little bit more of a bro look, as some would say, but it speaks to that very specific younger millennial, older Gen Z who is trying to buy those condos. So that's when we look at your branding and how you're creating social media posts and what you're putting out there in the world. If you're working with young families, chances are pretty good that the mom of the house is the one making a lot of the business decisions. So did you go with a little bit of a softer, more feminine approach on your branding? So as we go through, I'm going to drop all the slides here for you guys because that's how I roll, and I'm awesome. And if you think I'm awesome, you can tell me. I'm just kidding. There's slide deck number 1. So keep in mind, as I'm going through this, if you want to do any deeper dive training, which I encourage you to do, okay, I'm not going to downplay that 6 hours of content is a lot to put on your plate when you have all the things that are going on. But if there is a particular version week that you like, just go back to the Facebook group, hashtag DYIC Thursdays, and all the previous recordings will all be in there. The slide decks are in there too, but I'm still going to give it to you because that's how I roll. So week 1 is all about understanding what do different colors mean. When you pick a different color, should you go with a team name? Should you go with your own individual name? Like, what should be incorporated?
Kara. All right. I think she's doing her magic trick again. So let's just wait for her.
I love her energy.
Yeah,
Sure.
She's awesome. She's great.
Yeah, it's almost like I can just sign on just to listen to her, and
I know, right? Just put it in the background all day long.
Let's get ready to rumble. I love it.
Everybody know where to get access to some of the previous replays and some of the things that she's talking about? Does everybody know?
I was just going to ask that. I kind of missed that.
I don't know either.
Okay, so what I'll do for you guys here, let me just go ahead and I'll drop the link. So it's in our Facebook group. I'll drop the link in the Facebook group, and then we have a hashtag you can search that'll pull up all the replays. They're all dated, and all the slide decks are included inside of the descriptions. So let me go ahead and grab that. Kara, you're back.
Guys, I sincerely apologize. Usually this doesn't happen. My business partner has spent a very large amount of money to have a backup internet. So the fact that it's gone out twice now, this has never happened. So I do apologize. Bear with me. I promise I will try and keep my magic tricks to a minimum today. I'll do my best. So what I was getting at there was, did you hear the part about brand and about not slapping your face and logo on everything? Did we get to that part?
No.
We did. No.
Yeah,
Okay.
you cut out just as you're talking about that.
Great. So my point there was that really great marketing and really great branding doesn't always need your face or your logo on it, that it should be recognized as part of you because that's your key messaging. That's your same look and feel that you always show up. So when we're posting on all the various social media platforms, it is one nice cohesive look across the board and has the same experience when they're on their website, whether they're on your Instagram or your TikTok. It speaks one. And when you start here, it'll give you the needed clarity where we can often get confused as to how to drive this forward. All right. Week two is where we just talked a little bit about optimizing our social media platforms. We also talked a little bit about your gimbal. I do recommend that as you're creating video, I like using the DJI Ronin S, I think it's called. It comes with Mimo, it comes with a gimbal. Guys, last week, I went to the Valley of Kokora, which is the land of what inspired the movie Encanto. And I took a horse ride, and I brought me and my son, and I held it like this, and the horse is going like this the whole time, and it's going all around, and it came out the smoothest, butteriest video footage. It was so cool. So I really love the gimbal. I highly, highly recommend, because as you're going to your listings, you're walking around and you're talking to the camera, it's a valuable, valuable tool. It costs like $150. Well worth the little bit of investment. The other big thing here is your social media pages really should be optimized for lead capture. That oftentimes on our Facebook, our Instagrams, our TikToks, they give us that one little clickable link where somebody can go off. We don't want to use our website, because when we just send people off to our website, they kind of just get lost. They don't know what to do. They start looking at properties and then they're gone. I recommend that we send people to the websites from places like our newsletters or our retargeting when we already have their information. The point here of what I showed you over this week was come up with a guide. We get into our avatar, into our ideal clients' minds, come up with what is something that they want to receive for us. So I'll give you an example. Let's say you really want to work with investors. Maybe you create a PDF online on something like Canva, where we give them a list of the best neighborhoods to purchase their first Airbnb in Toronto. It's a nice, easy guide, something that somebody can consume in under 20 minutes that will allow them to get a result and really see you as the authority in their space. Then we create a very, nice, easy to view on a mobile device landing page that gets their name, email, and phone number. And that's the one clickable link that you use in your Instagram and your TikTok and your LinkedIn. And then this class, I showed you all the different entry points as to how somebody can come in and become a lead. We also introduced to you the idea of using something like Calendly so somebody can easily schedule an appointment with you, especially through the use of COVID and like everybody doing Zoom calls now. This is much more of an acceptable practice than it ever was. I remember I had a business coach once. She was like, you got to stop giving people your Calendly link. It's kind of rude. You should just give them and offer them times. And I was like, that seems like the most inefficient thing in the world. Like if somebody just wants to be able to book a call and talk to me, like it's boom, bing, bam, boom, done. They get a calendar invite. I got a calendar invite. We're now jumping on Zoom. This is something now that's like widely used across the industry. So I highly encourage you to involve it as part of your process. But week 2 is all about creating what I call a frictionless opportunity for a lead to get into your ecosystem, and using various guides to encourage people for a softer ask, not giving like, ask me how much your home is worth and I can give you a home evaluation. That's a pretty high ask of somebody, because now they know that they're going to be having a sales conversation with a realtor, which sometimes people are timid to. Maybe they've been kind of hounded down. What's really nice, soft ask, are these downloadable guides that can help nurture somebody and identify who you should be talking to. Then you can kick it really cool if you've got some cool lead scoring on your website, on your CRM. Maybe somebody came in, downloaded a guide, and now they've gone onto your website. And now they looked at 2 properties and you have a CRM that's lead scoring that person. Like that's a conversation that you should be having with that person. So that was what week 2 was all about. So creating a landing page, creating a guide, and then optimizing each of your social media channels for the various links so that you can get somebody's name, email, and phone number. All right, week 3, we actually looked over your stuff. So we took everybody's stuff in. So this is what's cool about this foundations. For those who are around, we actually had a look and I gave you my live feedback. And this is something that I encourage you guys to do. In fact, like nobody really does it. And just to give this is not to toot my own horn. If you want to book a one-on-one call with me, I charge $500 an hour. Okay, whether you're an agency owner, whether you're whoever, doesn't matter to me because I know what my time is worth. You guys get it for free. So you can literally bring your social media accounts on here. Kara, can I take a look? I need an idea for a hook. What can I do better with my branding? So when we had this class, people were really good about bringing in their stuff and getting some online critiques. And yes, you're going to be a little bit vulnerable and you're going to receive some critiques in front of the whole class. But I do encourage you on these calls, we always have a little bit of time left over to go over anything that I can help provide more ideas here for you. All right, week 4. This is the one that I think is the hardest sometimes for people to tackle. And we're going to spend a little bit of extra time here because it's a big one. Okay. This is what I call a content roadmap. The content roadmap is something that allows us to sit down, come up with who our 3 to 4 different avatars are, and then we get right into their minds. What are their biggest objections? What are their questions? What keeps them up at night? Because great content, where we come up with all of our content ideas and what we should be talking about, positions on them, the person, not us. Nobody cares about how many houses we sold. Nobody cares about the market of how you are in the market or what awards you went with. Or nobody cares about your brokerage. They don't care about that stuff. And when you look at marketing as a whole, all people care about is how does your product, your service solve my problems? That's it. And when we think about people's most favorite word in the English language, it is their own name. People love themselves. So that's why I ask you guys to get so much into the head of the person of whom it is that you're trying to talk to. Because if you want to create content that gets clicks, that gets engagements, that gets people listening and paying attention, it's to understand your avatar. So that's why we go down and we pick 4. And they can be 4 very different people, right? They can be millennials selling their first house. They can be retirees who are trying to get out the equity of their house and not have a mortgage payment. They can be the person who's relocating from California over to Florida because they're trying to avoid taxes, or maybe their big corporation is shutting down. You have to figure out who those people are. What are the questions they're asking you on your listing appointments? What are the questions you're getting stopped and asked at the grocery store? That is where great content stems from. So to really go down this road, I had everybody complete what we call a content roadmap, which is this wild spreadsheet and it's very intimidating. I'm not going to like play it down for a second. And if it didn't take you 3 to 4 hours to do this, you probably did it wrong. However, if you did take the 3 to 4 hours, or if you're going to go back and watch week 4 by using the hashtag DYIC Thursdays in the Facebook group that Shane has posted a link to, you will see that if you complete this, you idea is completely done. It spits out. It's going to ask you, it's going to prompt you to fill out the questions. So the way that we do this sheet is it has different stages that we go through to take somebody from a curiosity stage and finding you, to taking somebody to start showing you the way, and then convincing them that we're so good at what is it we do that they either reach out to us as an organic lead or they send some referrals our way. So I do encourage you to go back and watch the entirety of this call because it's going to give you a little bit more in depth. But basically the way that it works is you fill it out step 1, step 2, step 3 to do this attract, engage, and delight phase. And all you have to do is fill out the green cells. And by filling out the green cells, it starts pre-populating the rest and what you're at the end of. So let's open up an example because I want to get you guys excited kind of with how this works.
Can I ask a quick question, Kara?
Always, Vicky, always.
You mentioned picking 4 avatars. Is it necessary to have 4?
No, not necessary. No, if you've got like 2 key people that you want to do business with, and those are your avatars, then go after those 2.
Okay.
Yeah, great question. So this is the beginning example. So like this is a persona here, Haley and Dylan. They're a young couple. They're first-time home buyers. What's their role in the decision? Well, it's 50-50. What are they trying to do? What are their goals? So they're trying to buy a starter home. And then what are some of the challenges that they're going through? Well, finding a well-priced home in their budget's really hard. They want to live in the city, but the prices are better outside. So what are some of the questions that they're asking? Well, is there a government incentive? You know, what is the difference in price between the city and the burbs? How much of a down payment do I actually need? And some of these things, you're probably like, this is so obvious, Kara, like everybody knows this. No, they do not. No, they do not know this. That's why they need you. And that's why you need great content that can position you as the authority. So that's why it's so important to figure out who it is that you want to speak to and then get into their brain and go through these exercises, because you're going to pull out things that you might have thought were pretty obvious, but I'm telling you, they're really not. Some other questions are, what are the costs involved with a home purchase? And then we figure out what are the answers to these solutions. So, well, there's first-time home buyer incentive programs that prices decrease the further away that they get. And what are some of the best burbs that maybe might offer them some of the city life? You know, what are some of the legal costs? What are some of the taxes? Like, you'd be surprised how many like first-time home buyers don't realize that like you got to hire a real estate lawyer to get everything done for you. And then what should they be expecting from that real estate lawyer? And then, so where do you come into that? Because now that we understand where the questions, now we understand where there's some solutions that help them, how can you show that you are part of that solution so that they can see you as the authority? So once we go through that, we start working our way down to the various stages. So on that call, we did a live version and I took back some what people were thinking of for their avatar, and we filled this out together. We come up with an action statement. So we want Haley and Dylan to buy a starter home in X location, seeing as X realtor as the best agent to get a good deal. And then what it does is it starts pre-populating all this information. So we continue to fill out just the green cells. Okay. So as you go through and you fill this all out at the very end, what you will get is all of these titles, talking points built out for you. So literally, if you do this exercise right, like I said, it's going to take you about 3 to 4 hours to do, but it will give you a minimum of 6 months of content. Even if you're pumping out a ton of content, which I know a lot of us are not, even if you're punching out a lot of content, you just come in here and you start checking off which ones that you want to do. and then you fill it out. So highly recommend that anybody watching this go back and watch week 4 in its entirety to learn how we did that. So let me drop the slide deck here for you. Any questions on the content roadmap that anybody maybe watched it, still has?
Just in regards to the pre-populating, what pre-populates, something that you've already put in, or Jules from McMaster pop in?
So the spreadsheet's going to pre-populate it in. So once you fill out the green, see all these talking points here, like
Right.
here, as we move through, see the pink here, the statement, like we pre-populated this up there, then we pre-populated this up there, then that we put this in there, and then we start to continue to build it out. So stage by stage by stage, it takes in what you did and puts it out. So that at the very end, you get all of these talking points.
So when you say we, you're talking about us. You're not talking
Correct.
about we McMaster.
Correct. So
Okay.
when you fill it out, you're going to get a blank version like this. So you
Okay.
come up step 1, you fill out all the green cells. As you fill out the green cells, it'll fill this in, and then it'll fill this in. And then you'll come down, and then this will all be filled in, right? Because it's pink. Then you come in, you continue to fill out the green. And then you keep
Wow.
working that stage by stage until the bottom where you have all these talking points will be filled out for you.
That in itself is worth $500. Okay,
Well,
thanks.
thank you, Vicky. Well, thank you. All right. So that is your content
Can we drop your
roadmap.
PayPal address, Kara? Are you taking donations?
I take playing clients and love and admiration.
Love and admiration.
That's how my my husband and family pay. Love and admiration. All right. That was week 6. Okay, now we get into batching content. So now you have an idea that we need to have the correct branding and the correct messaging. Now you start to get an idea of like what you should be talking about. Now you actually want to go and start creating some of your content. So batch creating content is the most powerful thing that you can be doing. In fact, I don't have a single client that does this on a daily or weekly basis, and you shouldn't be, because you're just not going to be very successful with it. You're going to be completely inconsistent. You're going to be kind of like a lost sheep, not really wondering what you should be posting about. And like consistency is really important on all of these platforms. So that's why we batch. So if you don't understand quite what batching is where we designate one day out of the entire month to shoot and film and create all of our content. Now, depending on how much you're doing and how many platforms will be and how quickly you can get this done will determine whether you can truly do it in a day. But I do recommend that if you have yet to be a person who can stay consistent where you're posting 3 times per week per platform, that's what you shoot for. You shoot for so that you can come up with 12 to 16 different pieces of content. And then we aim to get that a few times per week on the platform. Because if there's one thing that's going to absolutely kill you on social media is if I look you up online, and me being a part of the millennials and the Gen Zers behind me, I'm going to look at your social media platforms. I can promise you that, because it's important to me, because that's where I spend my time. I want to see how, if you can't market yourself, you're sure not going to be able to market my business. So the last thing you want to have is a space where you haven't posted in 3-4 weeks, that you were talking about the spring market and it's now October. So you have to get consistent with what it is that you're doing. So pick an amount. If you're just starting out and you're just getting consistent, pick an amount that you can commit to, or you do this one day per month. And here's how I would roll, and I would do that. Come up with your subjects, come up with your hooks, right? What do you need to say in the first 3 seconds of your videos? And come up with exactly what those points are going to be. We spend 1 day shooting, literally 1 day, wear a few different outfits, and then you're going to come in and then you're going to use the content roadmap that you've done, because that's going to tell you everything that you should be making content on, and you're going to pre-make everything out for that month, okay? Pen and paper. Keep it old school, keep it easy. Don't worry about all these crazy fancy softwares and tools and expense that you have to take on. All of the platforms, every single one of them have a native scheduling tool. You can pre-schedule your TikToks, your Instagrams, your Facebooks, and your YouTubes using all of their either their creative studio that they call it, or right on TikTok, you do it on the desktop platform. Now, the one caveat to all of that is you can't have personal accounts. So you can't schedule a personal account on TikTok. And that's a bit of a downfall because you don't have a clickable link if you're under 1,000 followers with a personal account on TikTok. And you don't get to use all of the sounds, the commercial songs and stuff. But to me, in my eyes, that's not as big of a downfall if you can't stay consistent on these platforms. So come up with 12 videos. 12 videos, write them down. What are the hooks that you want to use? And just to give you a summarization, a hook is what you need to say in the first 3 seconds. If there's one thing that you guys listen to me for today, it's this. Please stop opening your videos with, hey guys, I just wanted to come and tell you about the market. Or, hey guys, my name is Kara and I'm a realtor from Collingwood. Or, hey, do you want to know that you gotta stop. You have to open it up with curiosity or a question or a fear of missing out or a shocking statement. And one of the tools that I love giving you guys is the title generator. You can just like cheat code your way to becoming a great marketer. I'm going to throw that in the chat here for you. You basically just come in here and you apply any title. So let's say we do want to talk about recession. I don't really recommend this, but this comes up a lot. You can see here that 6 amazing recession hacks. The A to Z of recession. How to restore recession. That's a terrible one, but you get my point here. This is the title generator that allows you to easily come up with a whole bunch of hooks so that you can just get right off to the races with creating your content. So once we've come up with our hooks and our titles, literally just spend a day shooting all of your short form video. And then that way, once you created the video, you can then even just take and create some written posts that you can use for your Facebook, because now you've come up with all of your stuff. And the point here is that you edit it, get it all done in that day, and go and use the native scheduling tools like I've shown you guys and get that content up into the interwebs. And then we watch it. Right. So it's not to say that you can't still do real time. If something compels you to create a post for that day, like absolutely do it, like totally do it. But this content here, is the most important. This is what I call the talking head, the stuff that keeps your clients up at night, positions you as the authority. It's got to be pre-planned out. I always recommend starting off in the morning when you're coming up with your ideas, because that's when we're most creative. Get all of the videos done, edited it all, see if there's any other little posts that you can come about, get it all scheduled, pour yourself a glass of wine, take it easy on yourself and give yourself a pat on the back, because now you've just scheduled out a month of content. Now, as you want to grow and as we really want to build on these platforms, it's not enough. I'm sorry. Can't give you that much easiness out. Can't give you an out. Platforms like TikTok, if you want to grow really well, you really need to be posting 2 to 3 times per day. It's not the easiest thing to do. I'm not going to downplay it, but you have to get started. As like I said, my generations and the generations after me, they go there. They want to see what you're doing online. It's their business card. They often will just completely bypass your website altogether and see what it is that you're doing. So you have to stay consistent, even if you're not seeing a ton of growth on this platform. Likes, video views, all that stuff. I mean, it's okay. It's cool. It's all right. You know, it's cool. Closing deals, getting leads, getting people reaching out in the DMs. They saw a certain video that you created that just got to the very heart of the problem of which it was that they were trying to solve. So now they finally decided they're going to reach out from you. All right, Larry. Larry says, my time block to create batch content is a schedule live Q&A stream class for my mortgage content that I do weekly. Then I download the video, chop it up, and make it into 3 or 4 more videos. If someone asks a question, that's a bonus video. Now I got to time block the actual editing, uploading. So that's great. I love that. Love that. Love that. Love that. That's a great method. If you are into going live and that's how you want to roll, absolutely. I'll give you a great example of one of our clients, Mr. Mike Corbett. I'll drop that in the chat. We did a lot of this for him because he was actually going live until he got banned from TikTok lives, which screw you, TikTok. He was not giving financial advice. He was just talking about real estate. But this is something that we did a lot. He would have a new guest on every night, and then we would take those TikToks and then chop them up into all different kinds of stuff. So that's a really, really easy way for you to like shortcut the process. So Larry, are you using any outside help to do any of that, or are you editing it all yourself?
I'm doing it all myself.
Bro, no, we got to get you an editor. Now, okay, so what Larry is doing is actually really, really easy to find somebody who doesn't cost a ton of money. Somebody who's like overseas who to them, they're paid very well. If you can find somebody 10 Canadian bucks an hour, they will love you for life. You give them really, really solid softs of when they receive a live version, have them go through it, have them timestamp it, find the biggest golden nuggets of what you said, and give them a SOP of what to do with that golden nugget. So that golden nugget can become a Square video, it become a TikTok, it can become an Instagram story. They can then take a quote from it and then develop it in Canva. You can just give them a template every time that you have this. So there's 1 hour a week could be all of the time that you need to do all this. So Larry's method works really, really well. If you're a systematized person and you like going live, which not really is, but I love that method, Larry. Thank you for sharing that.
Kara, when you said that question, when you said you should be posting 3 or 4 times a day, are you talking about 3 or 4 times a day on each platform, or 3 or 4 times a day on the various platforms?
Great question. So that was specifically for TikTok. So what we're seeing right now with TikTok, you have to post 2 to 3 times per day on TikTok. On Instagram, I recommend once per day. On Facebook, I recommend 3 to 4 times per week. And on your YouTube Shorts, I recommend daily. If you're posting long form content, you can get away with growth on a channel if you're doing at least once per week. So it depends on the platform on what you want to do and what they want to see. Can
you run through those one more time, but a little bit more slowly?
For sure. So TikTok, 2 to 3 times per day. Your Facebook page, 3 to 4 times per week. I would do like Monday to Thursdays. YouTube Shorts daily. Instagram Reels daily. Instagram posts 4 to 5 times per week. LinkedIn daily, Monday to Friday. You could get away with a couple of times per day. Did I miss any? I don't think so. Larry, did I miss any? You give me a nod. I don't know if that was a yes, I missed it, or yeah, Larry keeping me honest today.
The YouTube was shorts?
YouTube Shorts daily. And then if we're doing long form content, so the regular long form videos, then you ideally want to be posting at least once per week. But if you really want to grow and you want to see some fast growth, it's like 2 to 3 times per week.
And the reels were Instagram reels.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then you've got Instagram posts. So 4 to 5 times per week for posts.
So the Instagram reels were daily? Is that what you said?
Yep.
Okay, thank you. Got it. Finally.
You're welcome. And then in terms of like posting, like when to post, what you want to do is you really want to be checking all the social media platforms will give you an inside look to analytics. There are various blogs and tools out there that'll tell you the time, but I always recommend that after you've been consistent and posting for 30 days, that you go into your analytics yourself and it'll tell you when your followers are most online. And it actually is very, very important to follow that because it will dramatically increase your engagement on your videos and on your posts when you're dropping it down when your people are online most. So one of the concepts that I'll answer that in 1 second there, Darlene. One of the concepts that's really important to understand is what's called half-life. So the half-life on platforms like Facebook and Instagram is really, really short. So what I mean by that is, let's say you have 100 followers on Facebook and you make a post. I believe the Facebook's half-life, I think it's like 60 minutes or 90 minutes. So you post it at 12 o'clock. If your followers haven't seen it by 1:30, then chances are good that people aren't going to see that post unless they come back to your actual profile. Now, Facebook did make some big changes, as I mentioned a few weeks ago. 30% of the Facebook newsfeed is now dedicated towards new creators because all the platforms are trying to follow TikTok because TikTok algorithm absolutely slays it and keeping people on the platform. And that's because they're constantly pushing out new creators, and their algorithm is incredibly good at matching up a piece of content with that person, with that user, with something they're most likely wanting to engage with. So, Darlene, that kind of answers my question to you. Yes, you need TikTok. Honestly, it's not like, first of all, it sounds like you need to come to my TikTok webinar, Darlene. So hit me up if you want to come next week. But that's where I teach agents like what the crazy, crazy opportunity that we see on TikTok right now. You can literally blow up an account overnight, literally, with the right video. And with TikTok, it has a very different algorithm than all the other algorithms. 90%, over 90% of your views and engagement come from the For You page. So that is why we're able to see accounts blow up overnight. But as I talk so heavily on avatar-driven marketing, you can have 4 totally different avatars. You can speak to a person who is a millennial who's trying to help their parents sell their house. You can speak to somebody who is trying to buy their first house. You can speak to somebody who's relocating from out of state. Those people have incredibly different needs and problems that you are trying to help them solve. My point here is that one piece of standalone content that you just made for that first-time home buyer is very likely to be seen by a first-time home buyer. And then the next day you can go and create a piece of content for the retiree. And now that content is most likely to be seen by the retiree. And that is because the way that the algorithm favors people based on their location, based on their age and their demographics, and based on the content that they're engaging with. So in my opinion, in my humble abode opinion, it is the greatest change to marketing for realtors since the invention of the internet. And if you do not take this platform seriously today, mark my words, you will be kicking yourself in the arse in 2 years from now because another agent is going to steal your deals. It's just the full truth. Just going to steer just Larry, I want you to come to every single one of my calls because I'm just loving all the you're like, yep. I was like, yeah, Larry knows. So yes, you really do need TikTok because when we create short form content, you create it for TikTok, but then we pull it over to YouTube Shorts and Instagram Reels and Facebook Reels, but we build it for TikTok.
Yeah, that's the reason why I actually signed up for TikTok, because TikTok allows you to share to multiple platforms. And it's easier to go short form to a long form, like TikTok to Facebook is easy, right? You can't really share a Facebook video to TikTok. It doesn't translate as well, but TikTok can go anywhere, like shorts, for example, or reels, for example. And my views on TikTok is like thousands of views versus Facebook is like maybe 100. Reels, sometimes it gets 2,000, 3,000, 10,000 views. So you just get more views on those platforms because they're, like Kara saying, they're driving as much traffic to your videos as much as Facebook, not so much. Facebook is not as generous, I would say, with their views.
Yeah. So
Kara, you mentioned a TikTok training that you're doing next week. Are you talking about here next week?
So I think you might have been a part. It's the same training that I've taught you guys. I teach it every week and then I pitch people on my services and it works really well. I stopped doing sales calls one-to-one. I haven't done a one-to-one sales call in months now. It's been the biggest game changer, but I do teach like real strategies, like what to do on that TikTok call, but it's the same one that I've taught you guys. So if you just go DYIC Thursdays, TikTok, you'll watch the training that I did on TikTok. It's the exact same one. Hasn't changed.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
All right. Okay, so the last week of the training was kind of how to do the editing and getting on to TikTok and how to use repurpose.io to just automate a lot of the process for you. I will say, I really don't love repurpose as much anymore. I find it can be on the buggy side and not do quite what I want to do. So I'm still looking for a best use case for realtors who are doing this themselves in terms of like the editing and repurposing process. The thing is that I love using the TikTok editor because it's really easy to use. It's super easy to use. Like you can upload a whole bunch of clips and then it'll automatically edit the clips to go along with the music that you just posted. Or if you found a song or a sound that you want to use, you just hit the little, what looks like a record symbol in the right-hand corner, and then you can just film your TikTok. And I think that that's such a beautiful thing. But TikTok's not stupid. They know that you're going to want to take that content and post it elsewhere. So what's bad about that is you don't want to take the TikTok and download it from TikTok and then repurpose it over to other channels, because it gives you a little watermark. And the other platforms, they don't like to play nice with TikTok. TikTok's the cool kid on the block. They're getting all the attention, getting all the girls. They want to shoot him down. So if they see your TikTok watermark, they will shoot you down. So that's why I am trying to look. There are platforms called SnapTik. There's a few out there. The problem with them is that they will mess up the sound, and the sound will be often delayed by like half a second. And that's not like a good look. One of the things that we used to do was we used to be able to just screen record it before we posted it onto TikTok. But now it has, I'll be 2 more minutes on the call. What now has to happen is TikTok won't even let us do that. And they've made another update where you can't screen record it. So personally in our business, we use programs like Adobe Pro to do the edit, because we have professional editors that do it all. So I'm still looking for a workaround, but as I said, because TikTok's so important and to keep an easy flow of things, I would use the TikTok editor. Marcelo says, what about Video Leap's great. So it's a little bit of an added cost. It's not much. It does a great job of editing. There's also another one that I just downloaded the other day. What's it called? What are you called? This one's really cool because it makes templates. So, when you see, have you ever seen like the TikToks where it's like, doot, 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 and it's like lots of quick photos and it matches it with the music really well. Well, this platform now gives you templates, and you can just upload the footage in there and it builds it for you. Let me find it. But all these ones, they do cost money, right? Like I'm always trying to find ways to like save you guys some money. Yeah, I've got Video Leap on there. Where did you go? There you go. It's called it's called In Stories. So this one will give you just templates, and then you just upload the photos and videos, and then it'll match it all to you. So you can see here, like what's playing is like the little templates. So let me just, instead of giving you a funny, here we go. Like that one right there, like how cool would it be if you were just like at the front of your house and it's just like a 3-second version of you waving in front of the brand new listing that you just got, and then you just flash through all like 8 photos that your professional photographer just came in. Like that's a TikTok and a reel that you can literally make in like a minute. Like this is like where I want you guys to really think that it doesn't have to be as hard as what you think what it needs to be. Larry's got Stick is the app. Okay. Allows you to download it without the watermark. Do you find that it keeps the sound in check, Larry?
It's as if it's seamless. Like I upload the reels and it looks just like my TikToks without the watermark.
All right. So Larry's going to coach next week because he just provided more value than I could today. So Larry.
Hey, Larry.
Take it away.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you for providing that. That's really cool. I'm going to totally save that right now.
Yeah, and what I do is I save the link to my phone, because there's a lot. I used to do it on the computer, which sucked ass. Like trying to migrate from my phone to the computer and then get the URL off. I put it on my phone, and you can actually put the link in. You copy from because TikTok allows you to copy the URL. You put it in, and it literally says download with the watermark, without the watermark. You can download just the sound. It's pretty cool.
That's cool. I'm going to check it out. Yeah, because like SnapTik does the same thing. What I found with SnapTik is that it gives you like a half a second delay. So when you're doing like a talking head one, or you're doing like a trend where you're doing like lip syncing to something, like it's not a good look. So I love that you posted that. I'm going to check that out. Cool.
You'll thank me later.
Yeah, I will. I will. Cool. Well, that's the summarization of 8 weeks all rolled into one. So just a super high level know who you're talking to, know how to talk to them, make sure that your branding, your colors stick out to them, make it simple on yourself, make it easy, batch your content, focus on short form video, and show up as your true authentic self, because that's why you've done all the transactions to date that you have, is because they like you. So try to be you on video. That's it. That's what I got for you guys today. 12:58. Any questions? Hopefully it'll go over 2 minutes.
I sent you a friend request. Could you please accept it? That's my question.
Larry, we gotta be best friends.
Awesome.
Best
Thank you very much,
friends.
boss lady. Appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. Glad to see you here today.
Larry,
All right,
are
guys.
you a mortgage broker, Larry? Or
Yeah,
I see.
yes, I'm a lender. So I'm a certified veteran mortgage advisor, but that's just a fancy word for someone who likes to ditch for VA loans, but I can do all loans, but yes, I am a lender.
and are you in Canada or US?
I am in the United States,
What state are you in?
10 different states, and my branch is in 30 different states. So pretty much I can help anybody.
Wow.
I-
Okay.
I don't think I can't help New York. I might not be able to help Hawaii for sure.
See you later, Larry.
All right, Kara.
All right, guys. Thank you. Appreciate your
Yes.
time. Hope.
Good stuff.
All right, guys. Well, I have a hard stop here at 1. I got to go onboard some new clients for. We're launching on Monday. 10 very special people are going to have their pipeline filled. I don't know if I told you this, guys, but their first client that we launched within 3 days, they had a listing agreement signed, and then 2 more were being signed later that day. I just have to follow up with them.
Nice.
So it's very cool what we're doing here.
Yeah, you have to keep us posted on when you actually launch the full service.
I will. It's very
Yeah.
exciting. These agents, these
Awesome.
kids are very excited.
Good
All right,
stuff. Well, guys,
guys.
thank you so much for tuning in. Kara, thank you as usual. We'll see you all next week, Thursday, 1 p.m. Make sure to tune in on Tuesday coming up, because I'm going to be on that call. We're going to go over some Facebook ads stuff, and we've got a bit of an announcement of a new product coming out. And yeah, with all that, guys, have an amazing day. Enjoy your weekend, and we will see you all next week. Thank you, Kara.
Bye-bye.
Appreciate you guys.
Bye.
Later.